Now, just because I value everyone's time, I'm going to try to keep this video as short, sweet, and to the point. And for those of you that, are just wanting to know by, if you need an opinion on someone that wasn't paid to give an opinion, here it is. Generally, overall, I do think it's worth $5. Get it. It's not a must-have. At the end of the day, you can get by with what's in the game. The customization in the scopes is free. There are some premium ones that come with the new pack. I will say the Odin is pretty nice, but overall, like I said, the value is pretty good. But let's get a little bit more dirty and deep in the details here for those of you that kind of want to know really what's going on. Now, like I said, the Odin is absolutely worth the $5 price tag. You can see it here mounted on the M1 Garand, which they did in this update change where the Picatinny rail is located. Honestly, I like it because it doesn't look nearly as goofy. I think they changed the hand placement or something there. I can't tell quite what they did. It is different, and it's pretty nice, but that's one of those kind of quality of life minor to detail things. The actual scope, it's pretty awesome. If we go in, I'm not sure if we can actually look at it 3D view. We'd have to actually, let's run over to the inventory over here and we can get an actual 3D view, because I do want to shout the dev team on just how good the scope looks. I mean, it looks like a new modern, scope. And yeah, they did a pretty good job on it exterior wise. And I guess while we're here, we can also look at the reticle changer here. It is unfortunate that $4,500 price tag is pretty expensive. Depending on which one you're into, it's worth it. I have found though, let me back up real quick. I was just going to use the live stream and use snippets from that as my opinion video, but I didn't feel like that was honest either, because I didn't actually have enough time to really get a feel for this stuff. Long story short, we've got enough time in, and I found with some of these reticles, and I was actually pretty critical about this openly prior to the update dropping, and I was like, I don't know, the reticles just don't do it for me. They're not that interesting. That said, I've seen a different kind of usefulness. The crossbow, for example, actually makes an excellent shotgun scope. And I initially could have cared less about this. So the mil dot one is the one we've gotten in. This one here, I could see for moving targets for this, and I haven't actually used this one yet, so I don't know. It is unfortunate that we have to repeatedly buy these. My personal favorite so far has been the duplex, and I've always said that if this game were to drop a duplex sight with the zoom of the Hyperion, I'd get it. And here we are 5 years later, and we've got it, and it's everything I thought it would be. It's incredible. I love it. That said, somebody else may love the different crosshairs. I'm really digging the simple center cross right now. It's great for great one grinding when you're shooting a lot of targets as quick as you can. It's good reticle. But enough about them. That's not really what this update for me, but what really got me going was actually the update itself, not necessarily the scopes. Part of me does feel like scopes are one of those quality of life things they probably should have added free at some point years ago. But then again, I mean, they have to earn money, and truth be told, I am more than willing to support them because they've made such a good game. I love it. I guess I am somewhat biased in my review because I do love it, but in the same hand, I love the game so much that when they dumpster fire it, I'm gonna let you know about it, because I care about it too much. But I digress. We're rambling here, and again, I wanted to keep this video short, sweet, and to the point. The Odin, though, I mean, excellent scope. At first I was really against the tinting, the new tinting. Now the old scope's got it as well. Let's look at a comparison to the Hyperion. You can see here there is new tinting, but you can see side by side. Let's get rid of the targets so you can see it even better. Just the field of view you've got with the Odin is significantly better than the Hyperion. But what I've noticed is, used to, before the update, obviously the scopes weren't tinted, and every once in a while you catch it, and I'm assuming it's a shader issue within the game code. I don't know, I'm not that smart to know what's actually going on, but every once in a while you catch the light just away, and it, like, you couldn't see anything, or if it was foggy you couldn't, like, the scopes just wouldn't work. I don't know, it was weird. Anyway, I was highly critical of this on my live stream, saying, man, I don't like this is gross, I don't like the tint, you know. It was an effective way to actually fix that scope glint. And yeah, no, it's pretty awesome. As you can see, we can actually just stare at the sun now. Not that anyone would ever try that prior to this update, but yeah, that was a hard task to do. I digress once again. So for those of you that are watching this and watch the live stream, I was highly critical of this, and then I have absolutely changed my mind on it. I dig it now. Moving right along, I don't actually have it equipped, I don't think. No, the shotgun scope for the handguns is awesome. It provides much better zoom than the original one, and because you can change it between shotguns and pistols, it really allows your build diversity there to be even greater. So again, it's worth the $5. The night vision, the angler scope, it's cool, but I personally don't hunt at night long enough to justify $5 for that. But if you're one of those weirdos that like hunting at night, it is worth it. It's a much better zoom than the one that came in the high-tech weapons pack. Speaking of, though, let's jump ship and kind of talk about the update. About it. So first thing we see on here in the patch notes is the new and improved FoxPro X360, and I gotta say, it's pretty cool. Hopefully in editing I don't get too lazy and forget to post the actual footage of this thing in use, but the menu is a little tricky. You gotta relearn it. If you're used to using the e-collar, you gotta relearn how to use it. But I like it. The fact that we can now call 2 animal species simultaneously is pretty cool. I will say the fox bang is a little gimmicky, but I get it. Companies got to make money, and that's their selling point in the real world product. Because if you didn't know, this is based off of an actual product you can buy for real money. It's super expensive and it's illegal in my state anyway, so whatever. That being said, that's a new feature. It's actually really useful because I don't know how many times I've lost this thing very frustratingly, because when you have the POI icon on, it shows it when you're far away, but when you're close up, it disappears. So if you put this thing in tall grass, you can legit lose it. Let's go back. So initially, I was obviously super excited about the new scopes. Been hounding on that for years. I would have been even more excited had I actually paid attention to these patch notes, folks, because some of these are at least for me personally, game-changing. First big ticket item for me, the 577 40 or 450 black powder rounds used by the Gand air rifle have been revised to be considered ethical when shooting class 9 animals. That's huge. That gun is freaking awesome. I was like, man, I wish it was ready for class 9. Still don't know. That was an oversight, I think, on their part. I don't know why. Because that gun is OP as it gets. And they say it's time for a tiger hunt, but I'm going to waste some buffalo herds with it. Moving right along, though. Down here in audio, we see if a player walks through several bushes at once, the bush rustling sound effect will now stop. You guys know, some people call it sticky sound or something. This has been in the game, it feels like, since day one. It's been super annoying and it's finally fixed, so that's pretty cool. This was the part during the live stream where I was doing exactly what we're doing now, reading the patch notes, where my jaw hit the floor and I was like, what? I had no idea this was broken in the first place. I just thought, you know, bow hunting was super hard and I just happened to be good at it. No, the bow sight was broken the entire time. So anyway, bows were very lethal beforehand if you could figure out, because there was a workaround. But if you figure out how to use that sight, you could lethally take out animals at 150 yards completely silently. Doesn't add hunting pressure. I mean, it's like a cheat code essentially. They actually buffed it. They made it even more accurate now. It's actually hitting exactly where you're aiming at, which makes it insane. The only thing you got to account for obviously is the wind, but boy does that make bows even more OP. Crazy that they did this. I didn't even realize it was broken, so kudos. Now this one, ladies and gentlemen, blew my mind. The ramifications of this right here, I still can't quite grasp or rationalize. For Xbox users with a large number of achievements, we've resolved the problem where the autosave function could occasionally stop working upon loading into a reserve. Well, I'm an Xbox fanboy, and we've been here a while, so we've got some achievement points, and that would explain everything. in my Call of the Wild career. Everything. I don't know how long this bug has been in the game. I didn't even know it was a bug, but I can't tell you the struggles I've had with grinds. I mean, it's what led us to the great restart. Granted, I'm glad that we did that in hindsight, just because, you know, everything's fun again. You know, it's not completely ruined, but this is it. The game wasn't auto-saving, so as if we were great one grinding, we were just simply shooting the same animals repeatedly. That's why I truly think we've been struggling with the great one grind. Hopefully, though, you know, I don't eat my words, and then I'm hoping like 2 days from now, whenever this posts, 2 days after we post the shooting the great one. But I feel like we've really been plagued by this. So again, blew my mind. Had no idea. You know, I feel like for me, I was like, hey, that would have been hugely important to me. I had no idea that was a bug. Crazy. Now, if you're interested in the rest of the patch notes, because there's a lot of changes to, and then they're all good. They didn't nerf anything. They buffed everything essentially. Everything that they changed, they didn't do any sort of changes or significant changes outside of that. You know, no populations were touched. But yeah, if you want to see the patch notes, pause this video. We scrolled through all of them. I'll also put the link in the description below. But let's check out the bow. So we've got sight adjusted. Now here's the cool part. What I love about this bow. Now we do have a wind. I don't know how strong it is, but before the update, of course, we've got to catch our breath. Before the update, we would have to actually aim here to actually hit it where I should. Now we can actually aim accurately, and this is hugely important for longer range shots, and hopefully we can actually fling an arrow down range here. Long range, that is, but okay, so we do have a pretty hefty wind, but we can account for it. That's a heart shot right there. It's gonna be insanely lethal. I mean, I'm just like, I've yet to dive deep with the bow, because like I said, we've been getting into bow hunting hardcore, and man, we're just gonna be even more lethal. In conclusion, though, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's definitely worth it. Absolutely not needed. For me, the update itself was far more important than the scopes. They are a great addition, and it's pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm really digging this. That all being said, I wish everyone well in their Call of the Wild endeavors. We'll see you guys on the next one.